Hi guys, let's look at this simple question that we have here. We are told to find the value of x in the diagram below. So this is x, a distance from this point to this point. In order for us to solve this thing perfectly, the first thing we're going to do is to label the diagram that we have here. So let's call this point A, B, C, and D. So we are trying to look for x, which is the distance from D to C. Okay, so the topic involved here is SOH CAH TOA. SOH CAH TOA is used to solve an unknown side or angle of a right-angled triangle. So from this diagram we have here, we can see that this is a right-angled triangle. There's another topic that can also be applicable to right-angled triangle, and that is Pythagoras theorem. But the difference between Pythagoras theorem and SOH CAH TOA is Pythagoras theorem is exclusive to the length of the sides of a right-angled triangle. But whenever we have a problem that involves angle of a right-angled triangle, what we are going to apply is SOH CAH TOA. Okay, so since we have angles involved in this problem here, we are going to use SOH CAH TOA. Okay, so solution, SOH CAH TOA. So SOH is sine, CAH is cos or cosine, and TOA is tangent. Okay, so when do we use SOH? We use SOH when we are dealing with opposite and hypotenuse in a particular problem. What is the opposite? The opposite is the side directly facing the angle given or the angle in question. Okay, so the side opposite the angle given or the angle in question is called the opposite. The slanting side of the right angle triangle, which is the longest side, is called the hypotenuse. So when we have the opposite and the hypotenuse in a particular question, we are going to use sine. When we have the adjacent and the hypotenuse, the adjacent is the third side of the triangle. Okay, so when we have the adjacent and the hypotenuse, we are going to use CAH or cosine. And when we have the opposite and adjacent, we are going to use TOA or tangent. So let's look at this question. How do we go about solving this? For us to solve this, the first thing we are going to do is try to find this length here. This is going to help us in solving this problem. So we are going to consider triangle ABD. So considering triangle ABD, we are going to check what are the parameters that are going to help us in this problem. So we are going to look for y. Let's call this distance y. Okay, so if we have y here, this y is the adjacent and 100 is the opposite. So what can we use among these three? We can use opposite, adjacent. So we are going to use TOA. Okay, because TOA contains opposite. This is the opposite, and adjacent, which is y. So we are going to use tan, which is also called TOA. So tan theta is equal to opposite all over adjacent. Okay, but what is our theta? What is the angle here in this triangle ABD? The angle given here is 48 degrees. So we are going to have tan 48 degrees is equal to, the opposite here is 100 all over, the adjacent here is y. Okay, so y multiplied by tan 48 degrees is equal to 100. We got that by cross multiplying. This denominator multiply the numerator. Okay, so tan 48 degrees is going to give us 1.1106. So 1.1106y is equal to 100. So we're going to divide both sides by 1.1106. 1.1106y all over 1.1106 is equal to 100 all over 1.1106. So this is going to cancel out this. So we have y is equal to 100 divided by 1.1106 is going to give us 90 meters. So we have calculated y, which is the distance from A to D. We have calculated it to be 90 meters. This means we now know the distance from here to this point to be 90 meters. Okay, this is going to help us to find the distance from here to here, because at this point we are going to consider triangle ABC. If we do that, we now have an angle of 35 degrees. This distance here remains 100 meters, but this distance now is y plus x. Remember, we know this distance to be 90 meters, so it is easy for us to calculate this distance. We are still going to apply tan. So tan theta, remember this is now the angle we are considering, is equal to opposite all over adjacent. The adjacent now is from this point A to point C. Okay, so considering triangle ABC, right? Tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. At this point, the opposite is still 100 meters, but the adjacent has changed from just y to y plus x. Okay, so we are going to put that into consideration. Also remembering that the angle theta is no longer 48 degrees but 35 degrees. So tan 35 degrees is equal to opposite 100 all over adjacent y plus x. So y plus x. But we know that the value of y is 90. Okay, so we are going to use this denominator to multiply this numerator. So y is going to multiply tan 35 degrees and x is going to multiply tan 35 degrees. So we have y multiplied by tan 35 degrees plus x multiplied by tan 35 degrees is equal to 100. Remember, y is equal to 90. So we have 90 multiplied by, what is tan 35? Tan 35 is 0.7. So 90 multiplied by 0.7 plus x multiplied by 0.7 is equal to 100. 90 multiplied by 0.7 is going to give us 63. So we have 63 plus x multiplied by 0.7 is going to give us 0.7x is equal to 100. So 63 crossing over the equal to sign, the positive sign here is going to change to negative. So we have 0.7x is equal to 100 minus 63. 100 minus 63 is going to give us 37. So 0.7x is equal to 37. Okay. So for us to get the value of x, we are going to divide both sides by 0.7. So 0.7x all over 0.7 is equal to 37 all over 0.7. This means, therefore, x is equal to 0.7 is going to cancel out 0.7, right? Okay, so 37 divided by 0.7 is going to give us 52.86 meters. So the value of x is equal to 52.86 meters. We can approximate to the nearest whole number to have x is equal to 53 meters. This becomes our final answer. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like the video, share with your friends, and follow for more maths content. See you in the next video. Bye.